everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. Happy Friday. We made it to the weekend. Mike, we also survived the blizzard of 2021 this past week. It was a crazy time, but we got through it.
We did, Matt. I think, 2021 is kind of the aftermath of what 2020 was. I'm totally okay taking a snowstorm more than anything.
I got a little too much snow, so I got about 32 inches.
I think I recorded about 11 up where I was.
Okay.
Yeah, almost a foot.
It took me and my dad 3.5 hours to shovel and clear the snow. And now, granted, he had the snowblower out, but the snow was so high on their driveway that it was too high to use the snowblower. So I had to take the shovel and knock half of it down, and then he would be able to plow. So it took a little bit of time, but just thank God there was no ice. Like, if this was an ice storm on top or in the beginning, it would have been a shit show.
Well, I almost died today.
True. Okay, it's a good thing I didn't have any ice.
I was shoveling my stuff. I was texting Matt. I was updating him throughout the time, but I thought I'd share on the podcast. So today at recording, before we recorded, I had to shovel off my steps, and I'm the only person who goes down my steps. And there was these massive ice spots on the first 3 steps coming down from the bottom of my apartment. I don't live up or down the steps, not to give away my location. And I'm like, okay, I'm like banging it with my shovel. I'm like, where is this coming from? I look up. There's about a 6-foot icicle because I knocked it down after it. But a 6-foot icicle, pretty sharp. Managed to knock it down. It took me 2 different scenarios. One, I was throwing gaff tape, my old Nike shoes, and my ice scraper for my car. And then I was going to try to get creative. I was going to put weights from a camera rig, put it in the Gatorade bottle, and throw it. So I was getting pretty creative. But luckily enough, my neighbor from upstairs let me go into her apartment up the steps and was able to knock it with a shovel. I was able to go down the steps and kind of measure it and pick it up. Boy, oh boy, this was heavy.
That thing would have cut you in half. That you would be dead on impact.
I sent it to Jenna's family, and I was like, make sure you check your roof and above your door because you never know. And they're like, oh, thank goodness. And then Jenna was like, or maybe your visitors. And I'm like, that was my first thought. And I was like, I think I would be impaled by your parents if something happened to you like that. So that's why I decided to do it for Jenna.
Yeah, we have a metal roof on my house, so everything at some point when it gets 32 and above just flies right off.
Ooh.
So we're always on icicle watch. We're always on snow on the roof watch. Luckily, it was so windy that the roof didn't have a lot of snow on it. It was insane. I haven't seen this much snow since the snowstorm we had junior year of college.
Do you remember that? That was hilarious.
We literally, I think we had school that Monday, and that was about it.
2-hour delay on Friday.
Yes, that's what it was.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we didn't have school.
And it was epic because it was the first week of March Madness. So Thursday, we just stayed in the townhouse, had some brews, and just watched basketball all day. It was fantastic.
It was awesome, especially the ways up to brunch and dinner.
Yes. Oh, there's so many memes.
Let's just say we were boys being boys and throwing each other in the snow.
We had some fun in the snow. Made some snowmen whether they wanted to or didn't.
Forcefully.
Yes. All in good fun.
I think it was funny. Sorry, I know I'm still stuck on the memory, but I think all of us by the time we were wearing snow pants, a nice snow jacket, some hats, some gloves. As soon as we got in the house, literally everyone was trying to just take everything off and lay it in the carpet area so that way it didn't get on the wood floor so it wasn't slippery. And literally you saw the entire step, the rail of the steps, the handrail of the steps completely covered in snow, snow and snow gear.
It was insane. And then I think it was Friday or Thursday after the snow actually stopped, everybody just went out to clean their cars. Literally the entire townhouse. There's, 18 townhouses?
Yeah. I don't remember.
I think so. Yeah, 6 rows of 3.
Yeah.
I think I can do that math. So 18 townhouses.
Yeah.
And then literally everyone was just out in the parking lot just throwing snow. There was nowhere to put the snow, but we're all just trying to shovel our cars out.
Which was also nice because we had that community sense where people were pushing people out of the snow with their cars. And it was just like, it was a nice thing.
That's right. They had it, so the cars had to move because the plows were coming, and some people's cars weren't the best, and everyone just tried helping, and it was just an epic time. There was a pile that had to be like, I don't know, 12 feet high just of snow. It was insane.
For any reference, for anyone knows any of those Volvo S60s, yeah, it was above that car. I drove that car at one point. It was above the car.
Was that 40 inches?
Oh, I don't even know, Matt.
I think that's more than what I got today. Because it snowed for like a solid 3 days straight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it stopped for me. Like, I think it was last night. It kind of added a little bit more to it, but like not as much. I think we got the bulk of it on Monday. But I think we're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel for the end of this week.
It just stopped for me like an hour ago. Not even kidding. On Tuesday, not Friday.
Well, hey, it's perfect time to record a podcast, my friend.
Absolutely. Never lost power either, which is a good thing because they're
nice.
expecting a lot of power outages.
I'm knocking on wood just in case you stop talking to me. I'd be like, Matt, hello? We have that another debacle that happened of disconnecting on Zoom at one point. That was crazy that time.
It's always a wild ride doing a podcast.
Oh, man. Well, we're going to cover some fun topics. It is Super Bowl weekend, so I'm sure you'll see and hear some stuff during that. Matt, I want to wish you a National Shower with a Friend Day on Friday. So I'm sure you and I will partake in that eventually.
Socks on. Socks on, always. Gotta
shower.
Stay safe. Yep. Socks in the shower. Crocs. Or Crocs.
So we're not naked.
No.
Yeah, so that I was looking up national holidays. It's like National Shower with a Friend Day. I'm like, didn't know that was a thing.
I don't know why it is a thing in the first place.
But we're also celebrating 6 more weeks of winter because good old Punxsutawney Phil for Groundhog Day.
Screw him. just say it's an early spring and everyone will love you. You piss off everybody by saying it's 6 more weeks of winter. So just say, is he supposed to see his shadow for spring?
So I was told, just based on what I saw from the live stream, they did a live stream. The tip of the top hat to them as far as doing a live stream and all that. But he picks a scroll now. I don't think, based on what I saw in the comments, that he actually looks for his shadow. Like, he literally looks left, right, picks the scroll, and the dude reads the scroll. As far as
I was going to say, why don't we just get a ring light and just shine it on him, turn him around, and be like, hey, there's a shadow, early spring, easy fix. Like, we don't need this damn groundhog telling me we're gonna have more snow coming. Like, there's already more snow coming on Sunday. We don't need this.
Maybe we can have like a Mission Impossible, Matt. We can rent like a helicopter, and I can have like a spotlight. And as soon as he gets pulled out, just rings the spotlight on him, and then he sees his shadow, and we're like, well,
how many Punxsutawney Phils have there been?
I don't know. You think I know that?
What do you think the over under? I don't know when it started, but like,
I'm gonna say there's been about 12.
Oh, I think that's pretty low. I don't know what the lifespan of a groundhog is.
I don't know.
But I mean, the Punxsutawney Phil probably has the best life of any groundhog on Earth ever. But I feel like 12 is very low.
He's the most famous groundhog in Pennsylvania.
That is true.
Next to Gus. Gus, the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Second famous most groundhog in Pennsylvania.
People from out of state of Pennsylvania are like, what the hell are they talking about?
For those that don't know, so the PA lottery system and lottery tickets, they have mascot Gus, who is the second famous groundhog in Pennsylvania.
Sorry,
he just loves bringing lottery tickets to people. So take that for what it's worth.
Matt, I don't know how accurate this is. It is from groundhog.org.
Okay, I feel like that's pretty accurate.
Phil FAQ.
Okay.
There has only been one Punxsutawney Phil.
No, absolutely not. So when did this start?
1886.
Absolutely not. Are they saying no? So that groundhog's 150 years old? What the frick? That groundhog has like superpowers or something. Maybe he can tell if it's spring or winter.
We need to, whatever we find out with him, we need to let Betty White know, and she needs to take immediate action.
I feel like there's been at least 2 Punxsutawney Phils that have been run over by a car. At least 2. You cannot convince me that there's only been one for the eternity of his life.
Maybe there's this like cult of like ageless people. So like Punxsutawney Phil's in there, Betty White's in there, Pharrell Williams is in there as far as like everyone of like drinking this fountain of youth. You know what? Maybe that fountain of youth is in that tree stump that he's in every time you knock on the door. Morgan Freeman, that's additionally another one.
I don't even think the dinosaurs lived 150 years. Yeah. And a groundhog is going to... You to tell me a groundhog can last longer than a T-Rex? Absolutely not.
Yeah, there's one. It's groundhog.org, man.
He should have a beard by now or something. You think his hair will turn gray?
Oh, okay. So they actually explain it. They said there's only been one Punxsutawney Phil. He has been making predictions since 1886. Punxsutawney Phil gets his longevity from drinking the, quote, elixir of life secret recipe. Phil takes one sip every summer at the groundhog picnic, and it magically gives him 7 more years of life.
It's a groundhog picnic?
I guess so.
Excuse me? Also, that just sounds like they just put like cocaine in the water and let them drink it.
I'm sure the person who wrote this page was on cocaine.
Probably. I would have to be too. If you told me I had to write a page that say there's only been one Punxsutawney Phil since, what, 1866?
Oh my gosh. It's like the Easter Bunny. Like, they have to believe it's real.
Yeah, honestly. You gotta wonder if Punxsutawney Phil is even real. Is he just a puppet?
He looked legit. Like why do we get stuck on this conversation of Phil?
Because it's ridiculous. Good. That's what I'm saying.
He looks good. I hate to say, the dude, the thing moved. Like it was. Maybe it's an animatronic for all we know. Because here's the conspiracy: you can't pet Punxsutawney Phil. Yeah,
probably because he's not real. Stay woke. Stay woke on this, people.
QAnon people, where are you at?
You know, we gotta fix aliens, and then the next one we gotta figure out who's playing Punxsutawney Phil.
It's Oz from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, what if it's just like some guy in the back room, just like controlling him from like using VR or something?
Oh man. Okay, that's enough Punxsutawney Phil for the entire year. Watch, we're probably going to be talking about it again next week, like the movie Groundhog Day.
Maybe. Could be.
I've never seen that movie, but I've
there's so many movies I haven't seen.
We got to start reviewing movies soon.
Yeah. I'm down for that.
That'll be our thing. Like we'll review movies every week. Like that'll be movie corner. We'll each watch one.
Maybe we can start with something else that we'll talk about later in the show.
Yes.
Moving on.
Yes. Okay, we're going to get some spice into this entertainment portion. We're going to be talking about a Carolina Reaper man. I know you and I have been talking about Carolina Reapers since we've tried the Ghost Pepper Donut from Dunkin' Donuts. That was the last...
I could go for one of them right now.
You know what's funny is that on my app itself, when I want to frequently order things, it's like, oh, not available, Ghost Pepper Donut. I'm like, well, no kidding.
Yeah. But that was like 6 months ago.
But Matt, how do you think you'd be able to eat one?
No. I like heat. I can't do a lot of heat. Like I still need to have some flavor, and I feel like with a Carolina Reaper, it's going to be way more heat than flavor.
So Matt, what if I told you that a individual, which I cannot believe I'm saying his name is Mike Jack, Mikejack. It's a fabulous name. Perfect for a podcast. Yep. Now owns the Guinness World Record for eating 3 Carolina Reaper peppers in 9.72 seconds.
This man's a psychopath.
You're literally eating it in 3 seconds a pop.
But did you see the video?
I did not see the video.
So I watched it. So first of all, they're only about like 1.5 inches.
Well, yeah, they're small.
He popped all 3 in his mouth at once and just started chewing.
Oh,
it was kind of uncomfortable to watch.
Man. Oh, yeah. That's ouch.
Yeah. Listen, bless his soul for eating 1, let alone 3 at one time.
And his stomach. We're blessing his soul and his stomach at the same time.
Yeah, he's had a burn in the inside of his stomach.
So if you haven't heard about this Carolina Reaper, It is at an average of one Carolina Reaper, 1.6 million Scoville heat units. Scoville units is based on a graph of hotness, if that's correct. And according to Guinness, and up to more. Oh, according to Guinness, and up to more than 2 million, according to other sources. So you have 1.6 million Scoville units, but then others are reporting it's 2 million Scoville units. Its creator Ed Curie, which also is hilarious because Curry said it's kind of like eating molten lava. I've never had that experience before.
That doesn't even sound fun. Does that sound fun to you?
No. I mean, to give everybody a little bit more context, it is 200 times hotter than a relatively pedestrian jalapeno.
Sometimes pedestrian jalapenos can get you pretty good. There's no way. I mean, I would try it and like if it was mixed in with something. But if you told me, hey, eat this Carolina Reaper pepper, I don't care if you would pay me $1,000, I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't eat a Carolina Reaper for $1,000?
No, I don't think I would.
I think I would.
I don't think I would.
I don't know.
I think the number would have to be like 10,000.
I think I would need like 6 jugs of milk in order for me to sustain the hotness.
Yeah, I really don't think I could do it. I mean, like I like heat. It's just like there's no. I need flavor with it.
How hot can you go? What's the hottest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh man, I don't go super hot. Like
right.
Jalapenos are usually my limit, but I think I've gone up to like. I'm trying to think of like the hottest wing sauce I've ever had. That would probably be it. Nashville hot can sometimes be pretty hot.
Okay.
I may have tried like an Inferno, but I don't know what kind of pepper was in that. The only ghost pepper I had was that ghost pepper donut. I don't think I've actually ever eaten like a ghost pepper sauce or like ghost pepper wing or something like that.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that like.
No, the donut wasn't super spicy. No, it had a good kick, but it wasn't like ghost pepper. It wasn't like I've heard ghost pepper could be.
Yeah, I could say like jalapenos are kind of like my limit. But I do like spice. Like spice is nice.
The variety is the spice.
Roasted red pepper flakes. That's like
those
nice
are good
thing that you toss on. And then what's another one that is red? Doing a lot of stuff in the kitchen. I'm trying to think what.
Do you know what I tried this past weekend? So we got wings from Wegmans.
Okay.
But we get them like plain. We get the sauce on the side.
Right.
My dad found at the store Old Bay hot sauce.
Ooh.
It was phenomenal.
That's awesome.
It's a limited time thing. Like it's just the regular Old Bay brand, but it's hot sauce. It was freaking phenomenal.
Where were we able to find that? I hate like plugging them.
You might be able to find it at Weiss.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to find it.
I'm sure it's there.
Be sure to find it. It's the Guinness never really revealed what the previous record was. My assumption is there never was a record. I think that's the thing with Guinness, like that people are like, I can do this. And it's like, well, it's never been done before. Well, we're going to do it. Like, and here you go. People set the Guinness World Record, which by the way, you have to pay the Guinness World Book of Records in order for you to actually try out your record. And on top of that, get your quote, I guess your tryout is the best thing.
Yeah. I did know that. I don't think it's worth it for everything, but I think there are some things that would be worth, paying them to try to get the world record for. If it's like something really cool and something that a lot of people can't do, I think I would do it. I think this is one of those scenarios. I think if I had the ability and I knew that I could eat 3 Carolina Reaper peppers in 9 seconds, I think I would pay to do it.
I think the fascinating thing is I get frustrated with Guinness that sometimes they'll say, oh, like, here's the Guinness World Book of Records for the person who scored the most points in the NBA. Well, of course, it's going to be Wilt Chamberlain because he did it. But that's something that, like, he didn't earn by asking them to come. Like, they kind of just gave him the record.
True. That's a fair point.
I don't like that because, yeah, so then if you're giving out records like they're fun coupons, you should be willing to. I heard the price is expensive. Like,
I'd imagine it would be
probably gonna get bashed for this, but I heard it was around $10,000 in order for you to actually get.
Changed my mind. Yeah, if it is actually 10,000, that's a little excessive. Because like at some point, the Guinness Book of World Records is just for fun. Like, I understand some people take a lot of interest and they care a lot about it, but it's mostly just fun stuff people do.
I'm gonna apologize. I am wrong.
Okay.
I take a 0 off of 10,000. It is $1,000 for new record titles.
That's still pretty pricey. Yeah, that's still a lot.
And it's $800 for existing record titles.
That's tough. I don't know if I would do something like that. Again, I think it depends on what it is, but like, is it really worth it?
You're also, I get the point. You're having somebody travel. You're having a record being made for you.
Unless you do something that like people will pay you to perform and do, and you can actually make a living off of it and like make a profit off of it. Maybe $800 or $1,000, depending on what it is, isn't that bad.
Well, it's like Dude Perfect. Like Dude Perfect, as far as the Guinness World Records, like those guys do world records every video, and they don't present it until they get the person to do the world records. So,
or if you have a talent like Red Panda, you know who Red Panda is? The unicyclist that goes to a lot of games and flips the balls on her head. Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, she makes a living doing that stuff. So again, if you can do something like that, maybe I'd pay for it. But also, how the hell do you find out you can do something like that?
Yeah. Well, Matt, give me your final thoughts as far as Ghost Peppers or Guinness World Records, because I want to see the Guinness World Record for longest podcast.
Ooh, okay. Ghost Pepper, I think I would try it, but I think I would want to do it in like a sauce. Like, I don't think I would just straight up eat a ghost pepper on a burger. I think I would just take the sauce, blend it up, maybe mix it with some ranch. I don't know how that would work out.
I was just going to say ranch.
Yeah. Listen, ranch, you can eat anything if you have ranch. Except pizza. Don't put ranch on your pizza. Like, don't dip your cheese pizza in ranch.
Okay. What about blue cheese?
I'm not a blue cheese fan.
Okay.
I'm okay with like blue cheese like sauce for wings, but like blue cheese crumbles, get them out of my sight.
So Matt, take a wild guess on the longest podcast.
I'm going to say 24 hours.
You are wrong. It's more.
48 hours.
What'd you say?
48.
Less.
36.
It is 36-hour nonstop podcast. Mike
Russell.
Russell.
What do you think they talked about?
Maybe that's a topic for next week, but
it could be. Maybe they actually had like live guests. I mean, that's like a radio show at that point.
How do you even stay focused too? Like sometimes I'm kind of like, what?
Yeah, zone out once in a while. Like, wait, what did he say right there? What did he say?
Yeah. So if you're interested, it's $800 for an existing record, and it's $1,000 for a new record for Guinness. But Mike, Jack, we hope your stomach is doing well and that your visits to the bathroom are safe.
He also did throw up like immediately after eating.
I'm not surprised that he did.
It was funny because in the video he's just holding like a Home Depot bucket. Yeah, that part was kind of funny.
The what is it? Justin Timberlake and Home Depot remix that's on TikTok. Like,
yes,
be next commercial for it. Well, Matt, finally, what we're going to be talking about, which will probably lead into the sports topics, but I thought it'd be fun to throw some sports trivia to you, but more so statistical way, even though that's still sports. We're going to be talking about Super Bowl, some Super Bowl trivia. Matt, some are multiple choice. You also have fill in the blank, not fill in the blank, but kind of a right answer. And then true or false.
Okay. How many questions are we at?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
I had to sing the ABCs to that.
I thought you were saying the ABCs
because I listed my trivia A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And
it's a good little remix, though.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
I like it.
Another singing podcast, everyone. All right, Matt. First question for you today, my sir. What team is multiple choice? What team has the most Super Bowl appearances? A, Pittsburgh Steelers. B, the New England Patriots, or C, the Dallas Cowboys?
Patriots, final answer.
You are correct. It is New England Patriots. Do you know how many?
They have 11.
Wow. That is correct.
I actually just guessed that.
I
know Tom Brady's 6-3 in the Super Bowl, and I think they made 2 before he got there.
Gotcha. All right, Matt. So most appearances on the Super Bowl. Which teams have the most Super Bowl rings? This is fill in the blank.
Can you tell me if there's 2?
There's 2.
Steelers and Patriots.
That is correct. Do you know how many?
6.
Yes, sir. That is it.
I think the 49ers have 5. I think that's what it is.
Now, Matt, we talked about a lot of wins.
Yep.
Which following team has the most Super Bowl losses? A, the Denver Broncos, B, the Philadelphia Eagles, or C, the Miami Dolphins?
Oh, okay. I was thinking the Bills, because the Bills lost 4 straight at one point. It's not the Eagles. I'm going to say Denver Broncos, final answer.
You are correct. It is
Yes.
5 losses in the Super Bowl.
Most memorable one was the whopping they took against the Seahawks a few years ago.
I remember
It was
that.
like 43-8 was the final score.
Right. All right, Matt. Which of
Yes.
the following teams have never played in a Super Bowl?
Okay.
A, the Houston Texans, B, the Seattle Seahawks, or C, the Washington football team?
Houston Texans, final answer.
That is correct. Houston Texans. All right, this is you might have a little issue with these next couple.
Okay.
Which city has hosted the most Super Bowls?
Ooh, it's a good one.
A, Houston, B, Miami, or C, New Orleans?
I am going to say New Orleans, final answer.
You're wrong.
It's Miami.
It's Miami.
Yeah, I knew it was either Miami. Actually, that makes sense because the Dolphins were around before the Saints.
It is only by 1. So
Yeah.
Miami has 11, New Orleans has 10.
If there was one Super Bowl city I would go to a
Philly.
Super Bowl for, I'd go to New Orleans.
Yeah,
For the
that'd be
Super
pretty
Bowl,
cool.
hands down.
That'd be
Bourbon
pretty cool.
Street would just be lit, or Miami would be a close second.
All right, true or false, Matt?
Okay.
Has a team ever played a Super Bowl in its home stadium?
It's a trick question because. So as of right now, I'm going to say false. However, the Buccaneers on Sunday will be the first team to host the Super Bowl.
Damn, I thought I was going to trick you on that one.
Yeah, you can't trick me on much.
All right, Matt, final question.
I'm ready.
How much does the Lombardi trophy weigh? A, 12 pounds, B, 8 pounds, or C, 7 pounds?
That's tough. I mean, it's big, but it looks pretty light. So I am going to say 8 pounds.
It is 7.
Really?
Yes, it's 7
Damn,
pounds.
that's crazy.
And
That
it's
is
a
really light.
crazy, what do you call it? It's a crazy price for the Lombardi trophy.
Oh, it's all those trophies are just ridiculous.
It is $50,000.
Wow. For a 7-pound trophy. That's crazy.
Silver, sterling silver.
Mhm.
So
I guess it makes sense.
is it? Yeah, Tiffany and Company. I was like, there's Tiffany and Company, and then NBA. Does Tiffany and Company do NBA
No,
Finals trophy?
NBA has, is it Louis Vuitton? Because they have their own case for it now, I think, which is just crazy.
Yeah, like J.R. Smith coming over and picking up the NBA Finals trophy
Pretty
last
much.
season, and he probably didn't play. His shirt was already off, too.
Yeah, shirt was off. Hennessy was already in hand. Yeah, that's crazy. Only 7 pounds.
And then, Matt, one bonus question.
Okay.
Has there ever been a year without a Super Bowl? True or
Yes.
false?
True.
It is false.
But
There's
what
been
about before the Super Bowl happened? There was no
There's
Super
been
Bowl.
a Super Bowl. Okay.
Well, they had NFL championships. It wasn't called the Super Bowl. Fact checked. Boom. Mic
Shut
drop.
up. Shut up. Well, we are going to take a short break, but when we come back, Matt has his fabulous sports topics, and let me tell you, it'll be super. You don't want to go anywhere. Matt, I gotta tell you, I am so happy we're continuing to make more episodes for our podcast.
You're so right, Mike. I really am enjoying hearing how awesome each episode is every week from everyone. It's so easy to do.
It is so easy, and we have Anchor, our sponsor for this episode, to thank for. Anchor is free to anyone that wants to start a podcast. It's easy for beginners with the creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also helps distribute our podcasts so our listeners can tune in to their platform of choice, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more.
And Mike, I gotta tell you, I was skeptical before, but we actually are making a profit off this podcast. We are still a small podcast, but it's nice to see the progress we have made with each episode with that money.
Yes, we are making it rain. Kind of. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm.
And who knows, you may start a podcast with your best friend.
That's right. Roommates for life.
Okay, let's slide into the sports segments for today. We are going to stick with the Super Bowl. So Sunday is the big game in Tampa. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady playing in his 10th Super Bowl. This is just absolutely insane. Patrick Mahomes playing in his second, and he's probably going to become the new Brady. So since we're both not like super big football analysis guys, and we can't really tell you specifically what is going to happen on the field, we can still talk about the Super Bowl in a fun way. So Mike, sports betting has just exploded in the past year and a half.
Stonks.
It's really just people have just gone insane with sports betting. So what I figured we'd talk about, one of the fun things that people can bet on for the Super Bowl are Super Bowl prop bets. So it's kind of like side bets that don't exactly directly have an impact on the game. There are some, and we'll touch on them. So let's just dive right into it. The first prop bet that we will... So we're not actually betting these. We're just going to give our prediction. So the first prop bet that I have is the coin toss. You can bet if the coin toss, which now that Nickelodeon explained to the kids what the coin toss is, everyone knows what it is. So thank God for that.
Can you remind me again?
So heads or tails, they are both co-favorites at minus 105. So Mike, what that means?
Thank you.
So
explain that.
Yes. So how the odds work? If something is a favorite, they have minus odds. If something is the underdog, they have plus odds. Now So they're both minus 105. Which means if you want to win $100, you have to bet 105. Now because it's minus.
So the points are based on the dollar value. So if it was -1, you would have to bet 2 if you wanted to make 1.
No.
Oh.
So it's minus 105. So they always base it around $100. So if you want to win $100, you have to bet 105.
Okay.
On the contrary, if it was plus 105, if you bet 100, you would win 105. So basically, if it's plus odds, you win more. If it's minus odds, you have to bet more to win more.
I'm just gonna come out and saying you've told me like parlays and whatnot and the difference, and I'm kind of like, okay. All I hope for, Matt, is you win money. That's all I care about. So
Mike, heads or tails?
Tails.
Listen, I will say something that will make people never bet heads ever. Tails never fails. If you hear tails never fails and you bet heads and tails wins, you only have yourself to blame. So I'm rolling with tails all day. Mike, what will be said first? COVID or pandemic?
Oh, that's a good one.
COVID is a minus 500 favorite, which is pretty big, and pandemic is plus 300.
See, if it was me, I wouldn't actually bet on this one.
I agree.
But if I have to, I'm just going to go with COVID.
I think I would go COVID too. Yeah, probably. I'll save that one for the end. So obviously Tom Brady and Bill Belichick split up this offseason. So how many times will Bill Belichick be mentioned in the Super Bowl? More than once is minus 175. Less than once is plus 135. So how many times will they say Bill Belichick during the broadcast?
Well, is it Joe Buck that is doing it?
I believe it's CBS, so it's Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. So we're just going to hear Tony Romo have an orgasm loud into the microphone, which is just going to be great. I think I'm going to go more than once.
I'm going to go with more than once, too, just because Tony Romo's into that equation.
So let's talk about commercials real quick. Before I give the prop bet, I need to talk to everyone. So the commercials are going to be very different this year. Mike, I don't know if you know this. They're not going to be as funny. They're going to be a little more serious this year, a little more social justice based. Don't be that person that goes complaining about the commercials online, because if you're just watching the Super Bowl just to watch some funny commercials, some people do that. That's fine. But if you complain about it online because that's the only reason you're watching, you suck. So, how many commercials will have a dog in it? Over 4.5 commercials is minus 250. Under 4.5 commercials is plus 175. Now, people might be asking, why is it 4.5? That way, if there's 4, 1 clearly wins. If there's 5, 1 clearly wins.
I'm going to go with less.
I'm also going to go with less.
Just because Budweiser pulled out of
saw that.
The commercials. That's something I have been following.
Yes.
Budweiser did fall out. Back off, I should say. Yeah. I was going to go into detail. I was like, you know what? Really, what you should be focusing on during the Super Bowl is social media marketing. But that's a podcast, different podcast show for another day.
This is a fun one. So obviously, coaches have to wear masks. Which coach will have his nostrils seen first during the game? Andy Reid at plus 150 for the Kansas City Chiefs, or Bruce Arians at minus 250 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
We're going to go with Andy Reid.
I am going Bruce Arians.
Okay.
Andy Reid does not like to take his mask off, and we'll get the masks in sports in a little bit. Next one. How many times will Tom Brady's wife, Giselle, be shown? Over 1.5 times is a 250 favorite. Under 1.5 is plus 170.
I'm going to go with the under on that.
I will take the over, because if they're winning close at the end of the game, they're going to keep showing her. Let's see. Other fun ones. All of these also right now are from BetMGM Sportsbook if you're interested in making a bet yourself. Let's see. Tom Brady, longest completion. Over under 38.5 yards.
So the over is if he throws more, under if he throws less.
So just one completion. Will it be longer? His longest completion. Will it be longer than 38.5 or under? I'm going to go the over.
I'll go with the under just to make it interesting.
Okay. Patrick Mahomes, his longest completion, over under 39.5. I will also be taking the over.
I will take the over for that one.
Okay. Let's look at, now I'm going to pull one up on my phone because I just have so many. Where did I see this? Super Bowl MVP favorite. This one is kind of surprising to me. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is a minus 150 favorite for MVP. Tom Brady is at plus 190. And then the next person, Tyreek Hill, is plus 1,100. So Super Bowl MVP.
I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill.
Okay, I kind of like that. I will probably go with Mahomes just because I feel like if the Chiefs win, he's going to have a big game and they're just going to give it to him. First offensive play of the game. Will it be a rushing play? It's the favorite at minus 140, or the passing play, plus 110.
I'm going to go running play.
I think I will also go running. What else do we have? So you can also bet on national anthem and the halftime performance. So right now, the over-under for the national anthem, who is being sung by Eric Church and Jasmine Sullivan. Over-under 2 minutes. They are both minus 120 favorites.
Is that when they start singing, or is it all the fanfare?
When they start singing.
So when they officially
start singing, the clock starts.
Oh, say can. I don't want to pull a Fergie on this.
I think I'm going to go over.
I'm going over too.
I feel like because there's two people, they're going to like take their time between transitions.
Dramatic camera angles and shots like that.
Wouldn't be surprised. If you don't know, The Weeknd is the halftime performance.
On The Weeknd.
So, you can bet on what song he's going to sing first.
Ooh.
The favorite is Blinding Lights at 175, Starboy plus 250, Pray For Me plus 250, Can't Feel My Face plus 300. There is no way Blinding Lights is the first song.
No, it can't be.
He can't do his best song first. I'm going Starboy.
I'm going to go Can't Feel My Face.
Okay.
Because he just had surgery.
That was fake.
That
wasn't real plastic surgery.
Wait, it was.
No.
No, it was.
No, they did that for the commercial. I don't think it was real.
Oh,
I thought I saw that was just for the commercial. He didn't actually get the plastic surgery done. I'm fairly positive that's what happened. I have one more that I'll throw at you while you're researching that. What color Gatorade will be dumped on the winning head coach? Do you have the answer before I give the odds? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say it feels like a no.
Sorry, I'm reading Life and Style mag.
So the favorite color Gatorade, Mike, to be dumped on the winning coach is orange. It is a plus 125 favorite. Second is red. Yellow/green is third, followed by purple, clear, or blue.
Was green in there?
Yellow/green was third. It was a plus 400.
I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, I am gonna go purple. I feel like two red teams. They usually don't do the color Gatorade of the team, so I'm going purple. What'd you find there, buddy?
This is important shit.
This is.
Including bloated cheeks, a thin nose, surgery scars, and seemingly injected lips. However, it seems the shocking changes are a result of CGI and prosthetics. Prosthetic Renaissance, a special effects makeup studio, took credit for the metamorphosis on their social media accounts after the music video debuted. Plus, it seems the quote, The Hills artist visage is back to normal already. The Weeknd debuted a teaser for the upcoming Super Bowl commercial, and his face looked normal and devoid of any of the cuts or surgery scars he has been rocking lately.
They have just been showing that Pepsi commercial for like the past 2 weeks. Every single show I've been watching, every single game. Listen, Blinding Lights I think he's actually gonna do pretty good.
It's just for no one really gets a call back unless
I don't
you're
think so. No, I don't think so.
J-Lo or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Or Beyonce.
So Mike, we went through the prop bets. Let's give a final score. For reference, the Chiefs are a 3-point favorite right now. Well, actually, before you give a final score, let's do the over-under. So the total, you can bet on the total amount of points scored in the game.
Okay.
Right now, 56.5 over-under.
Okay. Wait, 56 points?
56.5 is the over-under.
Points?
It's pretty high. Yeah.
What?
Pretty high. So for reference, if it's 35-21, it's 56.
Together.
So the under
together.
But that's still the under. However, life is too short to bet the under, so I will be taking the over.
But I'm going to be betting the under.
Okay. So Chiefs are 3 points favorites, so just give a final prediction score.
Chiefs. Chiefs over Buccaneers 21 to 18? Is that? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
21 to 18.
That is very low scoring. I am going to say Chiefs over the Buccaneers. I'll say 31-28.
I'm going to get grilled if that's actually not a score you can score in the end.
If anyone has 18 points at any point in the game, I will Venmo you $5 on the spot.
I'm literally gonna forget about it, and then I'm gonna be like, what? And I'm like,
watch. They'll kick like 6 field goals and get 18 points. All right, that's enough Super Bowl talk. Moving on. Mike, I did have a separate topic about Ben Roethlisberger. However, sometimes in sports, things just pop up out of nowhere and just become a story. That happened in the NBA last night with LeBron James. So LeBron got in a little altercation with some fans at a game in Monday night in Atlanta. So they were playing the Hawks, and Atlanta is only allowing 8% of fans in. So they have about 1,600 fans at every game, and somehow LeBron manages to pick a fight with one of them. So they were both sitting courtside. It was a husband and wife. And apparently the husband said something to LeBron, and LeBron said something back. To which then the wife steps in and was like, F you, like cursing at LeBron very much, like, F you, LeBron, don't talk to my husband or I'll effing drop you, I think was the exact quote. And then LeBron James supposedly called her the B word and was cursing back at her, telling her to sit down. It escalated, and then the fans got escorted out of the game. The wife of the couple that got thrown out went on Instagram Live to tell her side of the story. It was just an absolute mess. I mean, they were asking about it in the press conference. I want to get your thoughts on this whole situation first, because you actually sent me something on Instagram before today.
Yeah. It was, oh gosh, I apologize. It is a Barstool Sports. It is I'm going to be awful. The 1 Minute Man did a report on it. And so my thoughts behind that, I have to side with Barstool Sports as much as I sometimes don't. And so the girl's name is Juliana Carlos. And Matt, believe it or not, as much as we would say, things happen in the world of sports, things also happen in the world of Instagram. She actually released a statement 2 hours ago on her Instagram. So I will read that out loud on the pod.
Please do. I did not see this.
It was 2 hours ago. So we're, hour, whatever, timing. So it's a white background, black text. It says, about last night, ... To say things escalated quickly at yesterday's game is an understatement, and I want to apologize for losing my cool and removing my mask in the heat of the moment. My husband is a huge sports fan, which, by the way, her husband's Instagram is Daddy Carlos 006.
Nice. Why not just make it 007?
Maybe it was taken.
Probably is.
Which, by the way, the age difference between the husband and the wife seemed very drastic.
I have not seen a photo of the husband, so I cannot confirm.
Let's just say the husband looks in his 50s, and Juliana looks like our age.
Love is love.
Love is love. Love is blind. My husband is a huge sports fan. We're passionate people. And let's be real. Sports wouldn't be sports without a little trash talking. What should have been a quick back and forth between two adults got out of hand, and my natural instinct to stand up for a man I loved kicked in. Did I get defensive when that happened? Yes. Did I use offensive language when I could have taken the higher road? Yes. And for these things, I take full responsibility. After that statement, I'm okay with it now. However, sports fans are sports fans.
Yep.
We do remember last in the NBA Finals during the Toronto Raptors versus the Golden State Warriors, there was a little altercation between a front row seat fan who actually has a share with the Golden State Warriors and pushed
Kyle.
pushed him. Really, it was like, it wasn't like get up and go. It was more get the F off me. And that's what ended suspending him and stripping him of his season tickets. But this was, I think with the circumstances for it being an empty stadium and defining that it wasn't at capacity, you probably would have never, ever heard that confrontation between the two. But since it was so minimal within the stadium, everyone heard the conversation.
That's a good point. This probably wouldn't be a big story if there was 20,000 fans there. I don't really... how do I want to word this? I don't blame LeBron, but did you see LeBron's tweet?
Yeah.
Yeah, he tweeted out like, courtside Karen was mad.
I
feel like that was a little unnecessary. Like, I know it's funny, but like, I feel like it was a little unnecessary. Like, just let it go by. Also, the media was obviously asking questions after the game, and all the players and coaches were, trying to make this a teaching lesson for anyone to come to a sporting event. Keep your mask on and all that stuff. Yes, keep your mask on. And they were upset that she pulled her mask down to yell at LeBron. I have not watched one NBA game this season where an NBA coach has not pulled his mask down to yell at his team. So if you're going to yell and you're going to complain to the fans to keep their mask on, please keep your mask on. We don't need to get a double standard here. If you're supposed to wear a mask while you're coaching, keep the mask on the whole time while you're coaching.
Matt, I have to fully agree with you. And again, I think in the circumstances, like you said, like if it was during normal times and the stadium was full, you probably would have never heard it. And just those that are around you heard it. But because of the circumstances, like, I'm pretty sure if NBA, what was it, TNT that was running it, or was it ESPN, or
I think it was
channel?
just a regular.
Is a local
broadcast.
Channel?
Yeah,
a local channel. Like you probably even heard it on the local channel.
Probably.
It's just because of how quiet it is, and we remember during the bubble how many times they had to censor every freaking word that was in between every foul that was committed. So. Yeah, I believe that if circumstances were different, I think it would be a big change, but I don't know.
People also need to realize when you sit courtside, that doesn't mean you can just say whatever you want to the players. Like, you can't just instigate these players. Like, in the heat of the moment, they're going to get upset. So, like, yes, I understand you're paying a lot of money to sit there. That doesn't mean you can just say whatever you want.
I'd like to know what I don't want to call him Daddy Carlos, but the husband, said exactly, because I'm all about like Reggie Miller versus Spike Lee during the playoffs. Like that's true. Like
that
sports
was awesome.
To fan action. But this occurrence that I'm going to say it right now, that occurrence that happened last night, it was not that. And, I think ideally, people are heckling. I think there was the one, LeBron's getting a lot of hecklers lately. Like, I think this is the second occurrence this season that he's had somebody that he's at least engaged with as far as like some type of like kibitzing with the fan.
I feel like ever since he's left Cleveland the first time, he just always gets heckled everywhere he goes. Mm-hmm. I remember I went to a Heat Sixers game.
Yep.
It was the second season he was there. And people were just yelling. I was in the upper deck, and I could hear people yelling at him from the lower deck. Like, that comes with being LeBron James. You're going to get heckled.
Yeah, I like I said, I think the comparison between Spike Lee and Reggie Miller, the choking, if anybody doesn't like, it's the choking. Like Spike Lee is like, oh, like you're going to choke Reggie, and then of course Reggie comes up big and is walking back, and he's holding his arms, saying, "Oh no, you're choking, Spike." like
that is
that. Yeah,
that's fun. But I don't think you're going to get that with every time, because not every NBA franchise like has a Spike Lee.
No.
Like, and there's Drake for the Raptors and Spike Lee and Jack Nicholson for the Lakers. That's probably about it.
I would say Drake is probably like, you're kind of crossing the border for, the difference between. Go ahead.
I think Drake also has part ownership in the Raptors.
He does.
Right.
Well, it's like Mark Cuban.
Well, Mark Cuban is the owner.
He is the owner, but I'm saying, like, you see him very reactive towards the Dallas Mavericks. But, I think Drake I remember he was, if we recall correctly, like back in the NBA Finals, like he was basically laughing that Kevin Durant was injured. And it's kind of like, you don't do that.
Yeah, you've been a curse for like every sports team you've ever liked. Except for the Raptors.
Every jersey you've worn.
Except for the Raptors that one time. You know what? We're just going to cut the sports segment off there, because I think buy or sell, which we will be doing soon, will run along. So that concludes the sports segments for today. It is time for buy or sell. Mike, I am going to give you the option. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I'll go first, because you went. I think you went first last week.
I believe I did.
Well, the last time, I should say.
Right.
Well, this is very pertinent to the world in which we are living in.
Okay.
Although I do not like it to a degree, I will have to buy working from home. Working from home in my job professionally, I can do. And I take that in a humble response. That I can work from anywhere on this planet Earth, because I have literally a freaking computer with me all the time. Sometimes I have two. I don't want to reach for the other one because it's on the floor. I don't want it to go off.
Yeah, don't break it.
Yeah, don't break you. It's a challenge sometimes for me, because I don't feel that productive area, because I think all of us have been in a situation where home is home. Home is a situation where as soon as you get home, like, it's the routine. I go home, I take all my dress clothes, I switch into comfy clothes. It's either do a podcast or whatnot. Now today, at the time of recording, I was working from home. I haven't left this desk since 8:30 this morning. So you see that produce as far as like, okay, I can understand why working from home can be a challenge. But, I do take it gratefully every day that I can be working from home.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes it can be a curse and a blessing. Like you said, sometimes you just get stuck at home, you get a little home crazy. But it's also nice, especially in days like the last couple of days where we've had a ton of snow. You don't have to, risk getting into an accident to get into work. I think a lot of people would. Well, I think it's probably 50-50 on if people would rather work from home than work in the office. I think it's just kind of more of your personality.
I think we're starting to see now how the world is turning with the fact of working from home. I do want to give a huge shout out to all of our essential personnel, like our grounds crew, our housekeeping, campus safety of all people that have no choice to come into work, and our nurses are, anybody who can't work from home. It's the way of the job, but in reality, like, you are doing something that I can't do. I would never think in a mental capacity I'd be able to be on the COVID floor. But just being grateful from working from home. So that's my buy. My sell is snow.
Yeah, big time sell.
I hate snow. I keep telling everybody, any conversation that I have with anybody, I always say, I like snow if it's not on the roads, like, or on my steps now, or if
if you don't have to shovel.
Right,
exactly.
You don't have to shovel. There's no icicle above you, gonna impale you if you don't pay attention. That's, and especially cleaning off your car. I
actually think cleaning off your car is worse than shoveling.
Yes, because you can't be as physical to the snow that's on the ground versus the snow that's on your car.
It's like an awkward, especially when you gotta get the roof and you gotta like reach up there. It's an awkward angle. Snow's good when you're in high school,
sledding,
like grade school, even college. But like once you graduate and like all you do is get up and go to work, it can get. Not that I actually get up and go to work in the morning.
Yeah.
But it sucks. Like when you have to do the adult part of snow, that's when snow doesn't become fun.
I have to like salt my steps to get the ice.
Not fun.
I'm like,
then when it gets icy, you gotta get an ice picker and jab at it. It sucks.
It's rough, man. So
yeah, it's not fun.
Snow is my sell. Snow, anybody can have it. Whoever needs snow.
In California, Arizona, you guys want some? Come and take it.
Come and take it. Okay, right. Matt, your turn.
Yeah. I'm buying stonks.
Stonks.
Buying stonks.
I knew that was coming.
What a week. What a couple of weeks the stock market has had. I saw on Twitter, I don't know who said this, but who would have thought that GameStop could unite the country in a time that nothing else could and no one else could. If you were living under a rock, basically this guy on Reddit found out that the short sell on GameStop was very low. Now, let me preface this by saying I don't understand the stock market and I don't understand Reddit.
Which is also why we weren't going to talk about it on the podcast in detail as far as an analysis and our opinions.
Yes. So people just started. Oh, go ahead.
I said, let's take it also to we're not any type of financial consultant, so please do not take anything that we say. Yeah. And this is very illegal. I think, because I heard another podcast being like, we are not responsible for anything that you do.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not giving advice.
Right.
So basically, the guy found out that the short sale, which I still don't understand, of GameStop was low or something like that. So a lot of people started buying it, and then it happened to AMC, and it happened to Nokia and BlackBerry, and all these people were buying the stocks, hoping that the price would go up and they would make a profit. Then we had Robinhood, which is an app that you can buy and sell stocks, started restricting people, weren't allowing them to buy it. People were in an uproar. Twitter had a wild couple of days. The first day, everyone was just tweeting Wolf of Wall Street gifs and quotes, and everyone was retweeting everything. Second day, everyone was like, F you, Robinhood. AOC got in the action and tweeted that what Robinhood did was wrong, and it's got to go to Congress. Ted Cruz retweeted AOC and was like, I agree. AOC retweeted Ted Cruz, was like, you, Ted Cruz. You tried to kill me. If you want to help, you can resign. Absolute boom roasted him. And what I'm all getting to is, at some point when I do understand the stock market, I am getting into the stock market.
I heard there's a terminology of called a pump and dump.
I'm in. I'm sold. I don't know what it is, but sure, let's do it. Honestly, like, they do say you should invest because if you do it right, you can make a lot of money. So at some point, your boy's getting in the stock market.
To kind of do like a buy one, get one free. There was somebody who I saw a story was bought GameStop stock and sold it and is now buying Nintendo Switches from GameStop to Children's Hospital.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Good for him. Speaking of Nintendo Switches, I'm also buying EA Sports. We had the great news today. NCAA football is coming back, the greatest sports video game ever. So, Mike, it's not going to be called NCAA football. It's going to be called EA Sports College Football.
Okay.
So, it's still 2 to 3 years away, which kind of sucks. They're just in the early stages of developing it. But they have to figure out the whole, what kind of players are we going to have in it, because it got taken away because they're basically using the likeness of players, not paying them. But if the laws change on that soon, which it probably will, who knows what's going to happen. But I am so excited because this was the greatest game ever.
I think also, too, by the way, how long you said it was, like 2 to 3 years?
Till it comes out, yeah, about that.
So Matt will have his PlayStation 5 by then, I'm hoping.
I
hope. I think with the world that is today, what was the latest one? NCAA football 2014. We were just getting into this whole idea of online game purchasing, downloadable content, or DLC. I think it will be sustainable enough for EA Sports College Football to have those features moving forward. So instead of you making it a new game, which I mean, in reality, I think they're going to make a new game every year if it's successful, which it probably will be.
It's that first game that comes out, it's going to be the highest sold game in forever.
But really, in reality, they don't have to, because they can just keep updating the downloadable content every year, update rosters. You know, it's interesting because you could do that now, as crazy as it sounds. Like, people can update their games, because I remember it was very low in the game when I had NBA 2K14, I think it was, and they just started getting in, like, you need to be like on the Wi-Fi to update your rosters like every so often. And I forget the big switch when Carmelo went from Denver to New York. The next day, I woke up, turned on my Nintendo Wii, which that was a thing back in the day. You know, to play basketball on the Wii.
Throwback.
And back in my day, Carmelo Anthony was on the Knicks, and I didn't have to do anything.
It's crazy. Honestly, they could just release NCAA Football 14 again and change the rosters and change nothing else, and I would love it. Let's move on to sell. I have 2 things I'm also selling. I am selling Queen Victoria.
Like the crown?
Nope. So I have an announcement to make on the show. I am addicted to The Bachelor.
You got me so scared. I'm like,
addicted
what?
to the I'm addicted to The Bachelor. It's awesome, Mike. The drama this season has just been insane. And for anyone who watches The Bachelor and have not watched it, spoiler alert, I will give you 2 seconds to pause the video. Okay, 2 seconds is over. Spoiler time. So Victoria, who announced herself to Matt James, The Bachelor, the first time walks out of the limo with a crown, says, "Hello, I'm Queen Victoria." Walks into the house to meet the other ladies. She says, "Hello, bitches, the queen has arrived," and just called herself Queen Victoria the whole time. She was the worst, caused all the trouble. This past week, she did not get a rose. She's off the show. Hallelujah.
Sold.
Yes. I am also announcing I am Team Rachel. Team Rachel. I'm hoping they get end together.
Last night I had a meeting with my class officers, and they were kind of like looking at the time, and I'm like, do you guys have to like be anywhere? This was on a Monday. I was like, do you guys have to like, I was like, wait a second. I was like,
Bachelor Night,
something's
baby.
on soon, and they like started laughing. I'm like, like I still pay attention.
Bachelor Night. I binged it the first 4 episodes from Friday night to Saturday morning. It's phenomenal. I hate myself for watching it, but it's so good. I am also selling artificial ejaculation.
What?
Yes, you heard that correct. Artificial ejaculation is being sold. So, this story comes from the Singapore Zoo. So, there is a lion, Mufasa, who has been living at the Singapore Zoo for a while. And the zoo decided they were going to do an artificial insemination procedure to get a son from him. Let me find out exactly how they did the process here.
Oh, good to hear.
So the son's name was Simba. Ironic in a second. So
Simba.
What they did,
instead of that, it was artificial ejaculation.
They put Mufasa under anesthesia, and they extracted his semen using a contraption called an electrojaculator, which is apparently a thing. So what this does, it pretty much like stimulates the prostate for like 2 to 3 seconds in bursts, and then the ejaculation happens. I am sad to report Mufasa did not survive the procedure. So he did not survive. So while Simba is very cute, was it worth the death of Mufasa? I would say no, so I am selling artificial ejaculation. We should not be doing it. In reality, it is a sad story. Like, they just kind of put the electrojaculator in him, and it caused him to die. Guys, I guess it like stimulates it like an electro pulse.
I'm checking.
Which just doesn't seem safe.
I'm checking my show notes, Matt. Are we doing buy or sell, or dude, that's crazy? Like, I'm trying to
This could be both.
I'm trying to figure out what segment
both.
You picked.
Yeah. So the Singapore Zoo, R.I.P. Mufasa. He's up there with Harambe.
Long live the king.
Long live the king. Yeah. Probably won't be doing that procedure anytime soon.
Sure. What the hell?
Simba is very cute, though. If you look up a picture.
Matt, how did you find this out?
You can find a lot of things on the internet.
I know, but how? Did you really spend time like?
No, I heard it on a news cycle somewhere.
Okay.
And I researched the article.
All right.
Yeah.
Because if you said, it's my daily news feed, I'd be like, stop that.
No.
Get some help.
No, Simba, I actually believe this actually happened. So Simba was born October 23rd, but it's just kind of now hitting the news cycle.
Well, I'm sure, because they're like, well, do we tell the media or do we not tell? And then
they know what happened with Harambe. Sweet Prince.
And everyone's just gonna start buying, what is that electromagnetic ejaculator? Electrojaculator. Oh my God.
That's all I have.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's enough, because that was just a wild
ride. Wow.
Yep.
What a way to end the show.
We hit it all. We hit Punxsutawney Phil. We got Stonks.
Stonks.
Just the Super Bowl, artificial ejaculation.
Karens.
I don't know what more you could want for a podcast. Karens.
Yeah. I'm speechless, man.
That's a tough story to end the episode on. I apologize. But...
Yikes. Well, okay. Well, thank you all so much for listening to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. If you are on Apple Podcasts, make sure you leave a rating and subscribe on all your favorite platforms that you're currently listening to. Big shout out to our second most populated people of all, Australia, listening to this podcast.
Yep.
Whopping 5%. We love you guys. I know I said some bad things in earlier episodes, but I'll just leave it at that.
That's okay. We do love you guys.
Still have not been reached out to saying we hate you yet, so we're going to leave
it. I guess
that's
a good thing.
That is a good thing. Haven't gotten any hate mail yet, or #cancel funny business. Yeah, you can find all of our social media and all those fun little stuff at solo.to/funnybusiness. We stream, at least we try, every Tuesdays and Thursdays at around 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you swing by, throw a follow on our Twitch channel. Throw a dono if you feel up for it and if you are able to. Financially stable, financially independently stable. Matt, any other surprising announcements of any upcoming technology, or you have anything good?
Enjoy the game this weekend. Hope you eat a lot of wings. And I did want to mention this in the prop bet section, but if you do gamble, if you do have a problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambler.
Not an ad, just looking out for you guys.
Yes. Or you can reach out to us.
Sure.
We're not, you know.
No, we're not experts by any means, but.
Oh, man. Well, until the next time, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.